Benny's. I love it here. So I'm in Bed-Stuy at my friend's. We do a home swap every year, so it's been like 3 years so far. And I haven't been doing a great job vlogging during this trip. So I'm here with Dacia. They're doing the home swap with Dacia, and then I'm out here with her, obviously. So this is my 3rd time staying here. And we're here for 8 full days, but really 10 days. I got so much stuff in the last week. Today is Friday, and we have just today and Saturday left. So just 2 more days. But yeah, right when I got in last Thursday, it was really late, so we went straight to bed. The following morning, I went right out to the Flatiron to meet up with Lisa from The Chi, which is a tea brand. And we shared a pot of tea, and I think I'm gonna start doing that when I get home, because I usually save it for special occasions. Drinking that tea, because it's so fancy looking. They're blooming flower teas and they're delicious, and I usually just save it for special occasions whenever I'm at home, but I think I'm gonna start pulling it out more randomly, or just having people over, and instead of having a cocktail, which I don't drink anymore. I got to do a home tour last week with Diana, which the video is up if you haven't seen it already. Everyone loves her, and people left so many comments, and it reached a wider audience than what I normally get, which is fantastic. So a lot of different people are watching, and she's such a personality, and it really shines through her apartment. But obviously she brings the life of the apartment together. That was really exciting because that's my first time meeting her, obviously. It was set up through her friend Connie, who's a viewer of this channel. And yeah, so she reached out and she was like, hey, you should do an apartment tour of my friend Diana's place. She sourced a lot of her friend's apartment. So a lot of the furniture pieces are actually from her friend Connie. So it was just a sweet friendship to see, and also to hang out with them and like see the way that they interact and how they've known each other for years. And yeah, so we did a home tour, and then my friend Richie came over to kind of watch. We went out to eat, and then afterwards I hung out with Richie a little bit longer. He had to run some errands to go to like Home Depot and stuff. He and his wife do this thing called Best Endeavors, which is like a fancy dinner thing where they invite all their friends over and then they cook dinner for them. And it's so cute. He gave me 2 of these, which are these glasses that they made with their logo on it. I just think it's so cool. It's like a little like sake cup, I guess. Adorable. And then the rest of the night I just spent editing the home tour to get it up. It's like a 24-hour turnover, which is the fastest I've ever done for a home tour, I think. But it was so easy to edit, and I just had so much fun that I lost track of time. So I got that up on Sunday. Less than 24-hour turnover, actually. On Sunday, Dacia and I went back into the city and then hung out with a friend named Ellie, and she took us to Joe's Pizza, which I've been trying to try all the pizzas on a list that was handed to us, and kind of rate it. And Joe's Pizza was like supposedly high up on that list. It's supposed to be the best pizza according to one of my friends here, or one of my friends in LA, who lived out here for a long time. And so we went, and damn, it wasn't that great. The night before, we had this place called Lindustry, and that was probably, Dacia says that that's the best pizza that she's had, and I believe it because a lot of my friends really like it too. I kind of got a stomachache because I think it's because I don't like eat that much cheese, or maybe it's a lot of oil or something like that, but it was delicious nonetheless. But I did get a stomachache, so I didn't feel that great right afterwards. So for me, Lindustry would be like a 9 out of 10 so far, but we might try it again before we leave. And then Joe's would be like a, I don't know, like 6 out of 10. It started raining, so we went to watch this movie called Anora, which I've heard so many great reviews about. It was fantastic. Highly recommend it. The friends that live in this apartment left us 2 tickets to go to MoMA PS1. And so we did that. And oh gosh, that was so cool. So like right when you get off the train stop, there's a Japanese convenience store. So we went in, got some ice cream, got some snacks, and then went over to MoMA PS1 and then just hung out at the museum, which was obviously a public school. So it's cool to see the architecture, but also the art was, I mean, all the artists that were there at the time were around my age or maybe even younger. And there's different types of art, and one artist that really stuck out to me was the tuft artist. It looked like a textural delight. I wanted to touch it so badly, but obviously you're not allowed to touch anything. And then later on for dinner, we went over to Williamsburg and had dinner with Noah and Sable Young, who is the podcaster that I really enjoy. She also wrote a book called Die Hot with a Vengeance, which came out with her perfume, and I read it 2 times in a row. I really enjoy it. And it's also an audiobook too, which she voiced herself. So we had dinner at a mala place, and it's just a big, huge pot. I didn't take any photos because I was just so in the moment, but they ordered this big plate, big hot pot with a bunch of different things, and then everything's tossed together and we just eat it with rice. That was probably the best meal that I've had so far. I have 2 days left, so it's time to top it. And it wasn't too spicy, and I definitely want to come back and bring Jason at some point because I know that he loves mala stuff. He makes a lot of mala stuff at home, so yeah, I'm really excited to share that with him. And then the following day, we went back into the city. I wanted to check out all the Bodhi shops because there's the women's Bodhi shop, and then the original Bodhi shop, and then the I think it's one of a kind right around the corner. They also have a bar called The River. Yeah, I just wanted to check out all the shops, so we did that, and I got a load of inspiration. I love their vision, although it's not quite my style, like not 100% my style. I just love that they have such a clear vision of what they like or what they are, and they don't really deviate from that. Like they don't go too far street style, but they also have fun. So it's such an inspiration because I want to be able to make my own brands, like Saran Wrap, for instance. I want it to be so clearly Saran Wrap, like colorful, fun, silly. And whenever anyone's influenced by it, then it's obvious that it's an influence of Saran Wrap or whatever, you know? And I feel like seeing other brands or other people who have such a clear vision of their own work inspires me to keep going the direction that I'm going and not to deviate too much. I went into Chinatown to go to a Hong Kong style restaurant with Mian Chan, who I've been watching on, oh my gosh, I feel like I know her life without really knowing her, obviously, but I got to have dinner with her. I was just so starstruck, and I felt like I already knew her, you know, and I don't know, she's so cool, and I really hope to get to hang out with her again, maybe the next time I come here, but she's also coming to LA, so hopefully I'll persuade her to go do ceramics with me or something. That would be so fun. We talked a lot about beauty and like shared beauty stuff, and she had this really beautiful Fenty highlighter on her eyelids as an eyeshadow, and then an eyeliner, very thin eyeliner on top of it. Yeah, I went straight to Sephora the following day and like swatched it, and it's stunning. I just don't know how a loose glitter like that. She didn't have any creasing at all. Oh yeah, she said that she was wearing a primer. That's why. But a loose glitter highlighter like that on me gets directly into my contacts and just like scratches. So I gotta figure that one out. I got to hang out with my friend who I've known from living in LA. He's a collage artist named Michael Hens. I'm a huge fan. So the reason how I met him is because I walked into a thrift store called Bearded Beagle in Los Angeles like years and years ago, and they had a print of one of his artwork pieces up, and it was just hung so casually. And then I asked the person who was working who the artist is, and they didn't know. And I asked if it was for sale. They said, I have no idea. So then I took a photo of it, thought about it for a couple of days, and then contacted the Instagram of Bearded Beagle, and they're like, oh yeah, that's my friend so-and-so. Let's see if he'll sell it to you. And he did. I bought it immediately, went in to pick it up, and then went home, displayed it the exact same way that they had it at the shop displayed, with like a hanger underneath and like 2 pins on the side. And then I kept running into him around town because Highland Park is really small. I shot some artist portraits of him. Anyway, so I got to hang out with him. We met for coffee and then walked over to Bushwick. He took me to this place called Friends, which is a little gift shop. And Maison Louis Marie, he was wearing number 4, which smells amazing. And he's like, oh yeah, there's a travel size that you can get at this place called Friends, which I did consider getting it. They also had another one called number 13, which is a fig scent. It was only $33 for this. And it smells like Philosophos from Diptyque, which is my dream scent. I love that scent. And so I got it, obviously, because this is way less. $33 is way less than, what, $270 for Diptyque. And yeah, so I have this, and I've been wearing it since, and I'm so excited to get home and keep wearing it, and every time I wear it, it's gonna remind me of this trip. After that, I got to go to dinner at this place called Ops, which the bartender gave me a pen that I got to keep. It's a nice skinny like Bic pen. I think this is so beautiful, and it writes so well. But Ops is a pizza restaurant that my friend Jenny Yunko took me to, and she's a podcaster, also a weaver. I'm gonna come over to her house tomorrow to do a get ready with me. I'm gonna try and convince her to do a apartment tour, but no pressure, obviously. But yeah, we got to meet up for the first time. I've done her podcast, which I'll link in the description if you're interested. But yeah, it was just so exciting to meet with her. She was so warm and easy to talk to. So Ops, I know they're known for pizza, obviously, but their butter beans, they had a simply prepared butter beans on toast situation with olive oil and salt and pepper, and it was phenomenal. I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I'm gonna try and make it when I get back home. So just yesterday, Dacia and I decided to have a gallery day. So we went over to the city again. We wanted to go to Zabar's, but it's kind of out of the way. So we ended up just doing the High Line and then doing all the galleries around there. Just walking around, seeing what we can see. So like David Zorner Gallery, that area, okay? Oh, we did split a bagel at Rest and Daughters, which I don't think I've been to before. It was so good. And I'm not really a bagel person. I'm not a bagel person in LA. Oop. I'm not a bagel person in LA either. But yeah, it was a good bagel to share. And then we walked around the corner and then found out that they had a sit-down location. So then we decided to sit down and have a bowl of matzo ball soup, which is my favorite. And then went over to an event for a company called Noon, an art gallery, and it was for a mushroom gummy launch. And they're adaptogens, not like psychedelic mushrooms. And yeah, it was such a cool event. There was a DJ there named Tina Lee Snow, and she's Vietnamese, and I got to meet her for the first time. And gosh, she does only vinyl, beat matches like crazy, and plays fantastic music. Legendary. Dacia and I were exhausted, so then right afterwards we just headed home and then went straight to bed. We've been watching Gossip Girl every night, and then we also started Hacks. And yeah, so we're having a lot of fun just like hanging out, the two of us. I gotta unwrap this. Jenny is a textile artist, and she made me this. This is so cool, and the frame that she has it in is such a good idea. I had to wrap it back up carefully because I really don't want anything bad to happen to it. This is such a smart frame. And these are the little tacks that help you hang it up, but this is it. So this is how she wants it. Yeah, this is how she wants it displayed. So she's a textile like weaver, right? So she made this right before meeting up with me. Look how cool. Let's see if I can get a closer detail shot. Oh my God. I love this. Oh, I'm so excited about it. And I think I know exactly where I want to put it. So you'll see where I'll put it when I get home. But I love this frame. Look at this. It's just nice and wood. And there's a little peg that you can pull out and place it right here so that it sits down like that. Or place it right here so that it sits, you know, like this. So I go like either this or this, but if I'm remembering correctly, I think she thinks it looks best displayed like this, which I also agree with the pink right here. I love this. Oh, we stopped into this tea shop in Williamsburg because they had ceramics outside and it really caught my attention. And the coolest thing is that I'd never seen this before. I've gotten like a big disc tea cake where you break it up and then you drink it and share it. But this is a little mini version. Like, how cute is that? So these were all singles, so I got a bunch of them. Yeah, they're like little nuggets of tea, like individual teas that you can enjoy. Like, how cool is that? So yeah, I got a handful of them, and I figured it would be a good gift, but also souvenir if you want something that's, you know, like, you don't want a physical item like a comb or whatever. You just want something that you can consume and then forget about, you know, enjoy the moment and forget about it. So today I'm gonna go and meet up with my friend Grace and do a little get ready with me. She did get ready on my channel like years and years ago, and people really loved her and it got like a ton of views. And she's a model that I know from just being in LA, and she's a sweetheart, and she's gotten really into baking. So if you follow her on Instagram, then you can see all her cake creations. And yeah, she's really cool. And I love like looking at people talking about their beauty routines. I'm also really excited about Jenny's beauty routine tomorrow because she uses everyday oil, which I also use, and she uses it in a much different way than the way that I use it. So I'm excited to see her method of using things. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get the day started, so I'll see you in a sec. All right, y'all, so I've been back for like 2 days, and I'm just gonna narrate the rest of my trip. So on the Friday, right after that last speaking portion, I went to, one sec, I went over to South Williamsburg to record Grace Gardner's makeup routine, her get ready with me. It's up right now. So obviously I'll link everything down in the description, but also I made a little Google map of all the places that I went to, and then I did a score for all the food places. So if you're interested, that's going to be in the description. So I went over to Grace's apartment. Super cute place. I'm definitely gonna try and vlog it or do a home tour the next time I'm there. But she has an adorable cat, and he's so affectionate, and he's like a really big cat, almost like Ollie. And I think it might have been a holiday or something special because everyone in the neighborhood, it's like a Hasidic Jewish neighborhood, people were really dressed up and like very lively and walking around. And there's a pickle shop in the area that blasts music really loud. I did my most New York errand, which was order contacts a few days before, and then I picked them up. And then I met up with a viewer named Amy, and we went around, got some tea, and then went over to this place that Grace recommended called Senti Senti, which is kind of a Korean beauty or Asian beauty store. This is so cool. So I've seen reviews on this. I saved the packaging because I wanted to show you, but some YouTuber mentioned this a while ago, and I don't remember who, but they were talking about how a lot of Asian women were carrying this little pot thing, and it's a little paste that's not quite like a pomade, but it's for your hair. So if you have a bunch of baby hairs, you just kind of like rub this right on top, and it keeps the baby hairs in place. I think it was Michelle Phan, and I do believe that the one that most people have is blue. This one's pink, and it's like slightly scented. But yeah, I totally have that problem with my hair where the baby hairs always stick straight up, and I usually carry a little bit of pomade, but I forgot to pack it, so I got this, and I think it was like $11, and I just think it's so cute. The packaging is not the best, but I don't know, it's adorable. And then Amy was like, oh my gosh, I have to take you to this place around the corner, Alligator Lounge from the rehearsals right around the corner. I love anything that Nathan Fielder does. Oddly enough, it was like right down the street from Lindustry and the Four Horsemen, which is where my friend Timmy works. We went to the Alligator Lounge, and I don't drink, so I just ordered a Coke, which was only like $2, and every drink comes with a ticket for a free personal pizza. So we both got free personal pizzas and a Coke for just, I guess, $2 of the Coke price, right? So obviously I tipped, but like, that's incredible. That's such a great cheat meal, like a great snack. So if you're in Williamsburg, that's probably the best deal that you're gonna get. It was kind of surreal because there was no sign anywhere that I could see that mentioned the rehearsal or Nathan Fielder or anything from the show. And it was pretty quiet in there too. Like, I think only 2 people were in there. So yeah, that was around like 4:30 in the afternoon. And then after that, I went to dinner with Diana and Dacia. We went to this place called Trad Room, which I've been to on my previous trip with Jason, and it's just a little cute spot with like small plates that you can share, but also like entrees as well. So we sat there for a few hours and just like talked and had so much fun. And Diana actually gave me some coasters. I have one in here. She had this coaster at her house on her Noguchi table, and I thought it was so cool, and I kept playing around with it because I just think it's so cool. So she got me 2 of them, and it was from a shop called Coming Soon. I love them. They're just like resin puddles. It reminds me of like Elmer's glue when you lay it out and like let it dry, but obviously more aesthetic. So I just thought it was super cool. And you can use it as, oh, look at that. You can use it as a lens thing. I think that night we stayed out the latest we've ever stayed. And then the following morning, we woke up pretty early and went over to Jenny Junko. I said her name wrong earlier. It's Jenny Junko. And I shot her Get Ready With Me as well as her home tour. She lives in this beautiful place in Bushwick, and that home tour is going to be up next. Her husband, Mick, made us breakfast. It was delicious, and yeah, it was a really good time. And then right afterwards, I really wanted to meet up with my friend Timmy because he's like one of my childhood friends. Well, since I was like a teenager. I've known him for a really long time. And he moved to New York when he was in his early 20s. He really changed his life. Like now he's, what do you call it? The person who like, I guess almost like a manager of a restaurant, but you kind of direct, like you tell people where to go. It's almost like a conductor of an orchestra in a way. But that's what he does for the Four Horsemen, which is the restaurant that makes the best beans ever. I guess New York just makes really good beans, you know? Yeah, so I got to hang out with him for a little bit, and then after that I just went home, cleaned and packed, and then got ready to fly back to LA. I gotta say, this trip was such a good food trip. Like, I started out wanting to cross out all the pizza spots that were on my list, but then I forgot that New York has a ton of my favorite soup, which is matzo ball soup, so I ended up eating a ton of that. I gotta say my favorite spot for it would have to be Frankel's. We also went to Katz Delicatessen, obviously. It's like the most popular spot, and that one's all right. And then also Rest and Daughters had a good one too, and the ambiance at the diner at Rest and Daughters was really cute. That was definitely the most matzo ball soup I've ever had in my life, and I still can't get enough. If you have a recommendation for a spot in LA that you love for matzo ball soup, preferably on the east side or northeast side, let me know, because I really want to go. And I really ought to just learn how to make it too, you know, so I can provide for myself. But yeah, that was my trip. I have a couple more videos that I started from this trip, so that's going to be following this. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.